Hello everyone and welcome back. So my last video I drew this guy and I've just gone back on now and had another look at it, and I'm not completely happy with the look. There's just a few things that I can change, and that's why it's important sometimes to go back in with a fresh eye and watch how simple these changes will be. Just looking at the guy and looking at my picture, I think that the mouth needs to come down to make that gap bigger. I think it'll work, so I'm going to try it and have a look. I can assure you I haven't tried it yet. I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but I just think I also want to widen it because it says wide. It says wide as his nose, so I'm just going to widen it slightly like that, so it's got a wider look, and I want to bring it down, maybe turn it more just to give it more of a comedy effect. You know, it's when you're capturing people, these are the sort of things you're looking for. Also, I think that bottom lip could come out more, so I'm going to try and pull it with liquify and see if I can bring it down more like that. And the nose, it's not a fat wide nose, is it? It's a thin nose, so I'm just gonna tweak it in a bit but keep the length. Just a few little tweaks here and there. In a bit more, but keep that length, and yeah. I'll have a look now and compare, see if I made the right decisions. So yeah, I think that's made a bit of a difference actually. Let's just go back to what we were at. So that's where we were before I realised that, yeah, that mouth needs to come down, the nose needs to come in. So I think, to be honest, the nose needs to go up a touch as well. So I'm just going to drag it up a touch, just to make that top lip look a bit bigger. Anyway, let's colour him in, because that's what this sort of little video is about, colouring. I got a good method for colouring and I'll stand by that. I might not be the master characterist yet, but I'm happy still to share my info because a lot don't. But colouring, I can colour in a simple way. So let's grab a colour. We want to be sort of, I like to use the classic cube to pick my colours, by the way. You might not, but I'm always sort of into the reds and then slightly into the oranges. You see he's got quite a lot of red going on. And then let's just get a base colour to start off with. You can use a selection tool if you want, or you can just go around the edges and get a silhouette of the whole character. Everything, you know, the hair, the hat, the whole silhouette of him, of your drawing. I think I should have used selection tool, may have been quicker. But this is neater, should I say. And this again is just Studio Pen. Quick as I can, all the way round. and finish up down there. Drag, pull to the right, make sure you're as high as you can. There you go. So now we have our guy silhouetted. We can't paint outside there because what we're going to do, we're going to alpha lock it, and I'm going to add just some colour variation for his skin. So I'm just going to add a few reds. Let's use a nice soft brush for this. This is just an airbrush. Add a few reds on his ears and his cheeks there, a bit on his chin, his neck. So this is the only time I'll really use a soft brush, is just to add a bit of variation to the colours. We can add some greys in there, in the eye area. And maybe not so much there, you know, just the old shaving 5 o'clock shadow, whatever you want to call it. It's good to have variation. I'm only doing the skin at this point. This is going to give you a different dimension. So now we've done that, let's quickly colour in the basic colours of his eyes. Back to our studio pen. Don't even know which one I was using. It's got quite dark eyes, hasn't he? So it's sort of a reddy grey. And let's do his lips. Do his lips like so. And we may as well get that bit of that grey hair in, which is more yellowy, isn't it? Get a bit of the old basic colours in, that's all. Forget about the details, just the basic colours. And I just like to just colour them in. I find it quite relaxing. Yeah. Let's grab the basic colour of his hat. We'll go with the lighter shade if we can. That'll do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this above, and I'm going to just quickly go around the edges, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Don't worry about going outside the lines like that. Fill it in as much as you can. Clipping mask. Yeah, merge down. Make sure you alpha lock off first. Merge down. I'm going to do the same for his shirt. Around the edges. We only need to be careful around the skin part, and then we can just sort of go like that. Fill it in. Clipping mask. Merge it down. I think I've got a big rectangle brush for that. I'll just swoop in a bit of that local colour, a bit there, As you can see, not a lot of care is taken on the old clothing. This is more about the faces. Oh, it keeps turning itself off all the time. There we go. So we got a bit of colour on there. So we added variation, we've added our block colours, and now it's the fun part. The part that some people dread is the shading and the lighting. Find it quite easy myself. Let's layer up, clipping mask onto our silhouette, set to multiply, and he's outdoors. Let's go for a nice bluey sort of colour. Stay light. Let's go for that sort of colour, I think, for the shadow. Obviously when we lower the opacity we're going to get different tones. Let's try more blue. I'm going to go more grey, but more, maybe darker. Okay, back to Studio Pen, and let's just put in some shadows. Got a shadow cast off his nose and the underside of his nose by there, like that. You'll find there's always shadows on the bottom of the ears and obviously inside the ears. Shadow all in on the inner of these eyes. Like so, and just as if I was doing it sort of with pen and paper, I like to just put a little bit of the edge there and there. And I want to go darker for the very dark bits. Like so. And I want to go darker again for this, the underside of the hat, which is a really dark cast shadow. And he's got some dark shadows on the hat too. So I'm on blue, but I'm quite desaturated, quite light. Now I want to go really light and quite low opacity, and I just want to try and grab some form, so maybe a bit more than that. Just drawing in a bit of form of where his cheeks are. Look, see. What's that? And let's do a bit of shadow on his top. Am I still, yeah? Shadow there, okay. And I'm gonna go super dark for the inners of those eyes. think that's about it for the shadows. So as you can see, you can play with the opacity now if you wanted to wherever you're happy. Keep it there, I will. Now we can do some light. I like to go to color dodge, which is by there, and just grab a warm sunlight sort of color, only quite low down and desaturated. And let's just paint it in. Just sort of grabbing the bits that I could see first of all. Like so. A bit of a blend out there. Some hair. And a little bit on his hat. So as you can see, that's about it really for my eyebrows. That's the lighting, and I lower the opacity on that then down to a more bearable level, and then I go back in above it all with a white and I do some highlights. And just get a bit of pink on this one. And that's about it really for the lighting. Just keep it simple, that's what I like to do. And also on this layer you can also, if you wanted to, just add a few extra hairs and strands and what have you. If you want to add a bit of texture, like, you know, the beard texture, go back into your block colors, hit noise, go to say ridges, turn the octaves up and the scale up, and click it to pen. Grab a soft brush, and you could sort of rough in some. You can rough in some little textures to you know, to signify a little beard going on. Keep it subtle, yeah, 6%, that's nothing. And just glaze in a bit of texture for the beard stubble. That's all that's needed. That's about it, guys, really. I I hope you enjoyed my little mini video. Just wanted to do one. Stay present. But yeah, I mean, been quite busy. I've been doing live gigs too now, and sort of all a learning curve for me. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked it. Hope you liked my colouring method. Nice and simple. Remember, block colours. Start with the skin, put a bit of redness in, then block colour in the rest, the eyes, the lips, the clothing and the hair, and then that's it for colour variation. That's the only time I use a soft brush, and then go back into the multiply layers then. If you want to give your work extra oomph, do this. So that should be clip masked. Do this. So merge it all down when you're done, so you've got all your colours set there. Merge it all down like that. Duplicate, set to hard light. Gaussian blur it ever so slightly, maybe 4 or 5. Lower the opacity just to give you a more professional look. And duplicate up to the top, normal, but lower the opacity. And you can add a little gradient map if you wanted to as well, just to give your pictures a whole different vibe. Sometimes I do this. You can give it whatever sort of vibe you want. And of course, lower the opacity a bit if you wanted to as well. That's it, guys. Anyway, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I hope to do more. Thanks for watching.